Okay, guys. Hopefully you're coming back in. I owe you an apology. Let's just get this set back up again. Yeah, I know. Right, guys, are we back yet, or? Anybody still here in the stream, or have I just lost everybody? Sorry guys, like a complete tool, I reached over to plug a camera in because it wasn't working in the USB port it was plugged into. I went to plug my camera in and I accidentally... Good to see you here, Alston. Yeah, I accidentally pressed the bloody power button with the side of my hand because I've got a port on the top of my PC that's right next to the power button. And I didn't think I had, but I must have pressed it and shut the whole PC down. Like a tool. Okay, let me just get the music running again, then I'll get this thingy going, and then... Yep, you heard nothing because I'm a prat. Right, let me see if I can switch over to the thingy now for you anyway. So, right, I want to show you, and I'm hoping it works now. Hooray, you can see it. If I can actually point it at the right bloody place. So, this is the Anycubic Standard Plus resin. Hey, bunker mate. So, in terms of quality, it's printing everything I want it to. I would expect from the Frozen Aqua 4K. And check this out. I mean, I haven't seen flex in a model like that outside of what's it called now? The TGM7 stuff from Marina Labs. I mean, that is some springy, bouncy resin. And that stuff there, that's the stuff. That's the stuff I put on the. That's the stuff I put on the group last night in the Discord chat. That is £18 a litre at the moment, I believe, something along those lines. Now this is pre-cure. This is this hasn't been in. This is come straight off the printer, so it hasn't been cured. So it will firm up a bit more than that. But that is impressive for wargaming models. We see the detail in the skeleton. We should be able to. Well, it's the standard resin, but if you look at the thing, basically you've got the standard resin and then you've got the standard upgraded resin, and this is the upgraded one, which obviously very clearly is it's very kind of springy. It's very kind of, and I say detail wise. I mean, I'm looking at this here now. I've got other models that I've printed from the same, because these are the models I'm using for my my resin testing. I've got models here that are done on the TGM7, and quality-wise, I think they're on par. So it's a good quality resin. I don't like the colour, I will say. In terms of being able to like show off the detail and stuff, it's a little bit light and a little bit translucent when it gets thin. So I'd prefer it to be a little bit of a darker grey. But other than that, it's pretty damn good. And considering I'm paying like £45 a litre, £45 a litre for the Aqua 4K. And then this one is, hey, how you doing? This one's like £18. It's £22 normal price. It's £18 at the moment on Amazon. So as I fluffed it and lost the thing, let me grab the link again and pop it back in just in case. There we go. So if you're needing some 3D printer resin, grab it while it's on offer. If you buy a couple of bottles, actually, you get a discount on it on top. So I think I got like I bought like 4 bottles I put 3 bottles in my basket yesterday, and I bought another 4 today, and I've got an average of about 7% extra discount on top of that. So I'm not sure where the extra discount comes from. Oh, save 5% if you buy 4 or more, it says. And then there's another one that says 5% on any 2, which I don't know if they stack. That's yeah, you get an extra 5% if you're buying 4 or whatever. But yeah, it's a decent bit of saving overall anyway, so it's worth checking out. But I'm starting to work my way through other resins. So I haven't got the Sunlu yet. I've got some Amazon own brand. I've got the TGM7. I've got AMD3. I've got some. I was gonna say less than Jake then. I've got some 3D Jake 3D Jake own brand stuff to try out. Some Soraya Tech. So I've got a good selection of things. If there's any other resins that you want me to test or you want me to kind of like compare, then let me know, because I'm going to be putting an article up about it at some point soon. I'll have to get a bit of the Wargamer resin off Ross as well. I'm sure I can sweet talk him into sending me a few samples. So, right. So this guy here, then we're going to make him into a bouncer. He's pretty much done. I'm just going to put a little buckle on his belt or something. Nothing flashy. Just keep it simple. So what you guys all been up to anyway? You doing anything Halloweeny, or you just kicking back and chilling? Obviously, having kids, it means that you kind of don't have the option of not doing Halloweeny, but getting the house decorated and cobwebs everywhere. You spend all this time dusting and trying to keep the place bloody clean, and then Halloween you go and throw fake cobwebs everywhere, so it looks like you haven't dusted. But you have to dust before you put the cobwebs up, which makes no sense. Oh, it feels nice to be doing some actual sculpting again. This secret squirrel stuff I've been doing is not my idea of fun. It's stressing me out a little bit, so I need to do a little bit of this to wind down and de-stress. So. Okay, I'm concerned he's got a bit of a weak link here, because this stomach plate is the only thing binding this together. Oh, Balmot's a little bit behind at the moment, mate. We're doing the. Do you know what? I'll show you some stuff in a second. Hopefully you'll like it. So we're talking about Crystal Collapse, and obviously we're going to be putting Balmot into the game, along with Ifrit and. Do you know what? I'm sure Max will not mind me showing you this stuff. So we've got some new bits going on. So we've got a couple of new characters. So, you know, we've got Hannah and we've got Fina, who are the two cat ladies. We're going to be adding a couple of characters into the collection. So the first one is this little dude. So this guy he's basically one of the cat people who is an alchemist, and through various bits of experiments and other stuff, he's managed to turn himself into this kind of dragon, boar, pig, elephant thing. So he's like one of our little cutie characters we're adding in. So he's our version of like a Moogle, if you like, I suppose. And we've got this big bad boy who's again, he's one of the cat folk. He's going to be a massive, great big burly kind of like fighter guy. So again, looking forward to getting him done. We've got this lady she's one of the old art pieces that Alexandro drew for us, I think, in a different art style. But she's going to get made up and done now. And I've been working on Goblin Slayer. So Goblin Slayer here is one of the there's absolutely tons going on. Goblin Slayer for us is one of the we're going to do the mercenary of the month subscription service. So when we run Crystal Collapse, we're going to be including all these characters, and they're going to be our favourite characters from anime and RPG games and things like that. So we're going to start off with this guy as a limited edition a limited edition mercenary, who you'll be getting if you pre-order Crystal Collapse when we put the pre-orders live. So he'll be a freebie that you'll get with your pre-order game. But then we're going to be adding like new characters, so you'll get maybe like, you know, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, or we'll do don't know, Link from Legend of Zelda or whatever. Tell us about his helmet and what's happened to his face. Have you not seen Goblin Slayer, the anime? So Goblin Slayer is just he's basically a kind of a grubby little kind of like knight who literally is only interested in killing goblins. It's pretty brutal. It's pretty kind of gory and graphic. But basically, yeah, he just goes around. Literally, is only interested in killing goblins, and that's what it's all about, really. But he's for some reason, I'm not entirely sure why. I can't remember if it explains it or not. But when he's like full on killing killing goblins, and he goes into like a bit of a rage and whatever, his eye starts glowing, and he gets this kind of like smoky kind of thing going on from his eye. Only the one eye though. So yeah, I've done that anyway. He's that's as far as he is now. So he'll be done on the next sculpting session. So yeah, we've got a good few little bits going on there. But that's going to put us to with the two new characters without Goblin Slayer. That gives us an entire third faction to include with the base game. So we'll have the Basalia, we'll have the Varland, and we'll have the Giza, which are like they're like desert dwelling cat people. And that'll be the start of 3 factions. I feel like I need something back here, but I think I'm gonna cop out a little bit. I'm just gonna actually use his hair to drag it down and connect his back, rather than sculpting extra bits in. It's not a cop-out, it's a tactical decision. Yeah, honestly, give Goblin Slayer a watch though, because it is brilliant. The first episode's pretty traumatic actually. Everything else is really, really good. Well, the first episode is also really good, but kind of if you tell people how good the first episode is, it makes you sound like a bit of a sicko when they actually watch it. Right, what pose should we put this guy in? He's a bouncer. It is a bit, isn't it, Elston? A little bit. Well, it's a comic book as well if you want to read it. Right, pose for this dude as a bouncer. I think I've forgotten to put my ruler in this one. Oh, you should definitely, give it a go, Elston. I know the first episode is absolutely, you say, brutal and traumatizing, but it's one of those series that is definitely worth a watch. I don't think if I remember right, I don't think the stuff that happens in the first episode happens again. I think that's kind of like saying don't underestimate how badass goblins can be. So I'm not going to tell you guys what it is because it is like proper dark, but you know it's one of those things where I should just put this on, shouldn't I? It is one of those things where you watch it and you kind of go, oh my god. Like Elston says, you either feel dirty or you feel traumatised at the end of the episode, and then you don't want to watch the rest of it because you think it's all going to be the same, but it isn't. So basically all the stuff that happens in the first episode is really, really bad, and everything after that is kind of vengeance, if you like. Imagine like John Wick or Liam Neeson in Taken, that kind of thing. Stormlight Chronicles, is that a good one? I've never even heard of Stormlight. I'll be honest though, my reading has gone downhill over the years, purely down to time, more than anything else. So when I'm not streaming, I have my audiobooks going in the background, and that helps me kind of like digest some books and stuff. But Is that a good watch, Elston, or not? Because I keep seeing it on my recommendations, and then I'm looking at it kind of going, do I? Don't I? Awesome heavy metal references, but very pervy. Yeah, back to Bamut. So basically, we've got the characters I showed you just being done, and then we were talking about like you know, the bosses and things like that that are going in the game, and the various other bits and bobs we're going to be making. And obviously, Bamut is amongst the list of things to be done. But sadly, mate, he's not there for the starter set, we don't think. So he won't be like a launch model. He will be there, but like not immediately. I know, sorry dude. Let me just check the other bouncer. So yes, mate, you will be getting your BAM up, but you'll have to wait for him just a little bit. But we're also going to give you something even better than, well, better than just BAM up as well. Because basically we've got a story reveal for him. I can't tell you about that because it's part of our seasons that we're doing. Sorry, mate. Right, we'll stop there with him. Hey Dennis. Right. Well, basically, you've got a couple of choices. You can either scrape them away with a knife. So I use a scalpel. Use the back of the scalpel and just scrape gently. You can use some fine grade sandpaper. You can get these things called micro mesh abrasives, which are like they're like little emery cloth stick kind of things that you can use to get into little nooks and crannies. You can use files if you've got some fine enough ones. Whatever works really, but the key thing to do is when you do your supports, make sure the supports don't leave marks in the first place. So when I do supports on models, I use 0.24mm support tips, and basically when you support the whole model with that, when you print the model and you're removing it from the build plate, when you pull the supports off, they just tend not to leave any damage. And I think I've said it before. Let me just double check my articles a second, because I think I did one about it. Oh, go away. Well, I think I've done an article about this already, but right, this configuration here. So when you need heavier support, so you need something a bit more heavy duty that's like an anchor. Elston, I've got them here for you. For some reason I kept having the tree stump for Drizzt fail, and I don't know why. It's printed fine millions of times before this. It kept failing, so I've got that now. Cured up, ready to go. Your order's like packed and ready to go out this afternoon. So I'm going to finish the stream at 2 o'clock. I've got some heads to send to Kev. I've got your order to go to you. And yeah, basically the whole lot is ready to rock now. So apologies for keeping it a bit late, but yeah, you've got the whole set of crystal collapse ready to come to you. Yeah. But saying sorry, support anchors then. So basically, when you need a heavy support somewhere, if you put one heavy support on the model, you're going to get a divot in the mini. So when you break that support off, you've either got to snip it off with flush clippers, and then scrape sand, file, and whatever else, and reduce the stump that's left to be flush, which is just faff. Or you break it off, and you're going to have a little divot in the model, which you can then fill with a little bit of liquid green stuff, some kind of like putty. You could get milliput, add a little bit of water to it and use a brush and then brush that on to kind of fill it or something like that. Or you can just dab a little dot of resin and UV cure that little dot and then just sand it back down. But everything there is all headache, it's all faffing around. So this configuration here that uses the it's like flower petals. You got one in the middle and then a little ring around the outside. When you do supports, you place one support in the middle. That's a 0.24mm tip, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1.4. Sorry, what 5 0.24mm. Let me start again. So you're using a 0.24mm tip, right? A 1mm tip as a heavy support is going to break the model. It's going to damage the model. But a 0.24mm one will break off and leave it clean, so it's not going to cause any damage. So if you want a 1mm contact point without the damage caused by a 1mm contact point, you use this little arrangement where this is the tips here, so the actual supports themselves are larger, so the supports will overlap, the body of the supports will overlap, but the head of the supports, you make sure they're not touching each other. And what it does is it increases, gives you a 1.44mm surface area versus a 1mm surface area. So you get a larger surface area, which gives you obviously a stronger contact point. But that still breaks away cleanly, the same as having the 0.24mm, because they're 0.24mm tips. So use that trick to minimise the amount of damage caused to your models. And then obviously just place your supports wherever you need to. The articles, well, there's a few articles if you want to have a look at them on here on my website. Just go into blogs and articles. It's not working. Ah, there we go. Blogs and articles, hobby tips, and we've got there's this one. If anybody's looking for information about your thing, this is a new one I put up, by the way. Anybody who's getting into 3D printing for the first time, there's loads of expensive gear you can buy. You don't necessarily need it. So this is a list of all the stuff that I use for my cleanup. So I don't use the wash and cure stations. I use one of these, like a nail curing lamp, and it's absolutely fine. But it's about 20 quid. Versus like the £100 odd you pay for a wash and cure, and that can just get stashed in a drawer nice and easy out of the way when you're not using it, so you don't need to find a permanent home for it. Likewise, these clip lock tubs, fantastic for rinsing your models off. Get the ones with a basket inside to make the models retrievable easily. You know, that's all nice and simple, and again stashes away in a drawer, pop it in a cupboard or something like that. You know, everything's nice and portable. You haven't got to find permanent homes for things. Baking trays are essential. They protect your worktops, and then you line it with kitchen towel or paper towels and stuff like that, and it will help you to kind of keep your prints clean, let them dry off without kind of, you know, causing any mess. And if you want to, you can stack them up, can't you? You can put a couple of like cups or something in the corner, and then stack up 5 or 6 of them, and it will take up the same amount of space as one tray. Air purifiers, debatable whether or not they make much difference, but it's worth getting a couple and just shoving them inside your printer when you're running. Plastic funnel and paint filters. I've put that in the wrong place. And then resins, and I was saying earlier on about the Anycubic Standard Resin Plus is performing well, so yeah, silicon mats. But do you know what I found? Silicon it gets sticky when you get resin and stuff on it. Baking trays you can just scrub the hell out of them. Do you know what I mean? You can cure a baking tray and then scrape all the stuff off, but all the silicon bits I've got like a silicon funnel. And even when I clean it, it's still a little bit sticky and a little bit tacky. They're good for protecting your surfaces, don't get me wrong, but in terms of like keeping things clean, the other thing as well is obviously they've got a little ridge around the outside. So if you get a spillage of isopropyl on next, I use that for my isopropyl tubs are on a baking tray. If I get a spillage, it's contained on the baking tray. It doesn't spill out onto the worktop or go anywhere else. So getting on with the sides on it is worthwhile. And the other thing as well, the stainless steel ones, when you get them high polished, You can use it for curing, so you put your curing station on the UV on the stainless steel baking tray, and it reflects all the light back up, and it helps to kind of give a more even cure on the model. But obviously, you just want to go, you know, if you just want cheap and cheerful, go for the cheapest, like, you know, non-stick baking tray you can get your hands on. Doesn't even need to be non-stick really, just a cheap baking tray is all you need. And then I didn't bother covering off printers on here. I thought I'd just link to the Faux Hammer article because Ross is doing a far more thorough job on it than I am. So yeah, it's a new article. Have a little look anyway. They're all affiliate links on there as well. So if you click on any of these things and buy any of the swag, I'll get a little bit of a kickback. So it helps me out. Right, back to business. Let's paste our suit of armour in. Do a little bit of positioning on these hands. Yeah, the other thing I use as well, which I haven't put in there, is you know, IKEA do these draw liners, and I know Ross has mentioned it a couple of times as well with the printers on the Faux Hammer reviews and stuff. Some of the cheaper printers, they don't have like rubber feet on there, and they slide around a little bit on your worktops. This is where Elfsong silicon mats probably come in really good actually. Hey, no, Roger, you take it easy and have fun. If it's anything you can post in the thing, share some images of it later, and we'll have a little look. Yeah, I use the IKEA draw liners, and they're like a rubber mat, but they're transparent, and they've got this like bobbly surface on one side, smooth surface on one side, and then a bobbly surface on the other. And I find the bobbly surface is quite good for what do you call it, keeping all of your things from sliding about. Smoothing the transition at the neck. And then we'll smooth out the back of the hands. So yeah guys, the other thing I'll say as well is so far the Saturn 3 Ultra, absolute joy to use. Never been much of a fan of Elegoo printers, as many of you will well know. I loathe that awful ball joint build plate that they use. Really can't stand that. But these latest models, the Ultras, they've gone to the 4-point build plate, which is amazing, but it's also like an admission that their standard design is crap. So, you know, well done for admitting defeat, Elegoo. Hopefully the new design will start cascading into the other printers and we can do away with this horrible ball joint thing altogether. Well, there's half ogre bounce out done. Let's get clank done. not polying him because I've got it on another tab. Right, so there's our 3 tavern staff so far. Let me just have a little check and see who else is on our tavern's to-do list. Okay, so we've got a bunch of like tavern dwellers, which I'll leave for now. We've got a halfling chef, Chenna Fat Rabbit, 2 human male waiters, let's assume the waiters are going to be younger. Just 4. I was supposed to have the 3D printer on. I just need to just double check something, guys. Okay, it is there. That's fine. Well, give me 2 seconds, gents. Oh, say gents. There could be ladies on the stream as well, but ladies and gentlemen, just give me a minute. I think that slice failed and crashed because I don't remember closing it down. Bunker, do you think the type of FEP you have on the printer works with certain resins? No, mate. Okay, so basically, hollow prints are going to suck even more. Basically, what you get is it creates like a suction cup. So if you use a light tube, there's a suction cup analyzer, and it'll tell you where the areas are. Basically, it's where you get like a vacuum, and it literally is like, you know, if you get like a little suction cup on a bathroom toy, on a kid's toy for a bathroom, stick it to the glass or whatever it is, and you've got to try and yank it off. So you can create a shape where you've got this same effect happening basically, and even though it's hollow, it makes it more difficult to tear it off the FEP. And what you need to do is, at the bottom end of the build plate, you need to make sure there's a hole so that the air can escape upwards at the top of the thing, and that will allow the part to detach better. So yeah, you're more likely to encounter suction on hollow models than you are on solid. So you just got to allow for that, and just factor in the. It's not just drain holes; it's vent holes. Rosie, someone had to go there, didn't you? There's the Saturn III has got that ACF film in there, which is supposed to reduce it even further. But apparently it can reduce the quality, but I've not seen any quality reduction in it on the Saturn III Ultra. Oh, Rosie, do some bases, man. What are you thinking? You talking about like producing some, or getting some for the getting some done up for the store? Bunker, try printing some of my stuff. It'll make you feel better, because it'll work. Now you've got to think about the angles you're printing at. You've got to think about suction cups, making sure you've got adequate vent holes and drain holes. All sorts. It becomes a minefield the more you get into it. Oh, do it, Rosie. Yes, mate. Definitely get on it. You got the Warhammer Old World coming up soon, haven't you? So you need some like regiment bases and like, you know, thematic movement trays and things like that. That's what you need. Right. Waiter. That's what I was doing here. While this slice is going on. Yeah, man. Definitely the old 20mm square and 25mm square ones for the regiments. That's definitely going to be needed, isn't it? I mean, if they try and do the old world again without the square movement trays, I don't know how they're going to work it. Kings of War type bases as well. That'd be another good one to get in on. Like the mob bases and regiment bases and stuff. Much better. Hey doctor, how you doing? For the next 2 months and you get a ban. Why only 2 months? Well, you did it for a 5-minute joke and you can't change your name now. It's all good, mate. It's all good. So we're just working on some Descent into Avernus Tavern bods. But then after this I'm going to be taking a little bit of a... Well, after I've got all the tavern stuff and this is like excess stuff for the Kickstarter. Oh, which funded and finished, by the way. The Descent into Avernus Kickstarter is wrapped up. So all of these models now are just due out. So I've told everybody I'm going to be getting them out by December. So anybody who's backed the Kickstarter, you'll get the stuff that's ready now. So you'll get a big wedge of stuff, and then the stuff that's owed will be in your libraries by December. It's mostly like NPCs and things, you know what I mean? Like proper set dressing type characters. Do you know, when I sculpt faces, I don't usually always know what they're going to look like. Just kind of do stuff and then go with it. Right, slicing finished. Well guys, I'm going to put you all on a BRB for a second while I just get this... I'm going to go grab a coffee, but I'm also going to put the printer on. So don't go away. Go and cast your eye on the wares on the website. Consider placing an order, and I will get this print on, and be back with you as quick as I can. Okay, so do not go away, people. Chat amongst yourselves. Oh, thanks, Bunker. Chat amongst yourselves, guys. Speak to you in a minute. Okay, back guys. It's getting proper cold out there now, isn't it? Right. Oh, for God's sake. Doorbell. Give me a sec, guys. There we go. Amazon delivery. Jacob's managed to pull the bloody sole off his shoe, almost. So I've had to order some shoe glue to try and like fix it with. I'll be buggered if I'm paying 30, 40, 50 quid or whatever it is for a new pair of Clark shoes for him. Let's make him smiling. Service with a smile, eh? Ah, right. How you getting on with it, Elfsong? Is it like a like a Samsung tabs or something like that, where you can like just do a little bit of drawing mobile, or? Fair enough. Oh, do you know what? I just thought actually I need to update that article with the PFA. Oh, you got the same as me then, mate. What size do you have? Nice. So it's a proper screen tab then? Fair dues. What's your brother's business? Do you think you should give the waiter a little moustache or anything? Oh, right. You get some free services in with your for your services. Ears, just back of the jawline here, top of the ear level with the top of the eye, bottom of the ear level with the bottom of the nose. Let's fit it in. Profile and the shape right. Make sure it blends in with the head. Go with the draw brush, the orb cracks. Create that kind of pattern, so we're starting like a number 6. I'm just going to step it in incrementally on each one. So this one at the top is the most protruding one. This one then goes in from there. And this bit here we're going to dig in. It's always worth remembering, if you need any reference for when you're sculpting anatomy, that you do have all these body parts yourself. So always look at like photo reference wherever you can, but grab a mirror. I'm not saying you're going to want to draw your own face or sculpt your own face all the time, but good a place as any to start. Is that when you're drawing them on the toilet doors, mate? You get the ones in your ears yet? Get the clippers out and shave your head, and you have to like just whiz it over your ear a bit. It's not fun, is it? It's getting old business. I don't feel old unless I try and stand up, which makes me sound really old, doesn't it? If you had one ear hair and you felt sick. The worst ones when you get one random really long one, you're like, where the hell has this come from? How have I not noticed this like 2-inch long hair that's like... You just see it one day, you're like, how come I've not seen this sooner? Is it just sprung out overnight? Give him a little hipster tash because he's a waiter. Who's they? The missus? Is that a new development, mate? What, you were still flying solo? Oh, the same misses then. Oh, fair play, working through it then. Fair play, mate. Got all your boundaries and everything all in now. You start fresh. Like, do I give this guy the Pidgeotto hairdo that so many people seem to have these days, or do I give him the hipster man bun, as he's a waiter? What do we think? King size bed to yourself. Oh, it's still not back then. Still maintaining like separate living spaces and things like that. Do you know, I should talk to you about this stuff offline, sure. Rather than get you to air all your personal life on Twitch and YouTube. I know what you mean. I get pushed right to the very edge of my bed all the time because Hayley always like wants to kind of lie on me, but like. She gets from her side of the bed and then she comes over to my side of the bed and she kind of pushes me over to one side and you end up kind of even further over. And then the weekends the kids come in the bed and God's sake there's just no room for anyone then. I end up having to get up and do breakfast or something then. The kids rock up in our bed. Well, I'm feeling he needs the man bun. The Pidgeotto thing's not working now. I'll bet, dude. I should be sculpting his hair with the body visible, really, just to make it a little bit easier to actually make sure I'm not screwing it up. But where would be the fun in that, eh? Are you even really alive if you don't make life extra hard for yourself for no apparent reason? Yeah, exactly. Gotta be done, hasn't it? No, you're right, it doesn't mean you're not gonna do it though. Oh, I saw a real random tangent here. I saw a video of a guy who was pissed off at his microwave for some reason, and decided he got up on a table, put his microwave on the floor, starts screaming and shouting, rips his shirt off, and then tried to leap off the table onto the microwave, doing an elbow drop. And I want to know at what point this guy thought he was going to win in that situation. You know, spoiler alert, the video ended in the guy rolling around the floor, groaning, screaming, and generally looking like he was about to die, if I'm honest. It was Instagram, mate. Some random Instagram reel. He didn't even impale himself. He elbow dropped it. Obviously landed on his ribs on the thing rather than on the with his elbow. But I mean, even if he hadn't, he was still on a floor outside. So there was no soft landing for him at any point when he leapt off this table. However he landed, he was gonna hurt. Do you know what I mean? It's not even like you've got the squidginess of somebody else's body to help break you fall. This was a microwave. You know, that metal angular box that lives in your kitchen that's covered in glass. It's like everything about the idea was just absolutely ridiculous. You know, when you kind of like, when are people gonna like learn? I mean, I know it's what you call it, Darwin Awards and everything. Do you know what I mean? Natural selection and all that kind of business. But why do people need to air their natural selection efforts on Instagram and YouTube and stuff all the time? Like, if you tackle a machine with your bare body, it is not going to end well for you. There you go. See this car here that's travelling at 80 miles an hour? Stop it with your head. Challenge. Well. Hey, it's a bot. There's me, just about to say hello to a bot, eh? Well, mate, I very much doubt that the social media like revenue paid for it, but there you go. He looks sufficiently hipstery, doesn't he? He needs a waistcoat. That's what he needs, a waistcoat. Guys, I've stuffed up again and I forgot to put my multi-stream on. If anybody's been watching on YouTube or Facebook, I do apologise if you're feeling like I've ignored you. Right, let's give this hipster a shirt and a waistcoat. Yeah, maybe that's not quite right. Ouch. Come on, I didn't ever ask you to do anything difficult. You're doing it to me, Zbrush. I have to kill Zbrush and then reload it in. Luckily I just saved it, so small mercies. I feel lagging now. Cheers, Bunker, for nerfing the bot. No, you're right. I'll pass on that one now. Oh. Sorry guys, I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning last night working, so I'm I'm lagging a little bit at the moment. Palm tree building experiments. Come on, Bunker, I need some pictures of that, mate. Get them in the chat. In the Discord. I want to see how you're getting on with your palm trees. Very mention of palm trees then just made me go straight into bottom live 3. Hooligan Island. See what you're doing, Bunker. Bunker, I hate to tell you, mate, but I think your tree's gone on the it's slid off a little bit. I see the pumpkin's growing there. Do they not have palm trees in Minecraft already? Oh, do you know, something you might enjoy actually, Bunker. I had a look at it the weekend. I was gonna, I thought Jacob might like it. It's called Sandbox Game Maker. I keep seeing adverts for it on Instagram and Facebook. And basically you use like Minecraft style blocks to build your levels and your worlds and stuff, and then you also use it to animate your you use the blocks to make the kind of assets like the characters and stuff. But obviously the character assets, the blocks can be smaller, so like you know, similar to kind of like your Minecraft characters I suppose, but you can kind of make them all yourself and you set attributes and stuff. But the idea is it's a game engine where you can just build everything you want without having to have any kind of like coding knowledge. So you just use the parameters and stuff that it provides to you to kind of set stats and things for enemies and behaviours, and you can create mods, and you can create, not mods, like asset packs and things like that. You can release to the community so they can use the things you've made, and obviously you can kind of go and buy their things as well. It's kind of Minecraft, but in a more DIY fashion. bit too complicated for Jacob and not my kind of thing, so I didn't keep it installed in the end. But definitely need to go through a bit of tutorial on it though to try and figure out exactly what's going on. It's quite when you get on there, you're looking at it and none of it really makes any sense. Armadillos, eh? Smooth on the outside, no, crunchy on the outside, smooth on the inside. He needs ankle duster trousers, doesn't he, as well? Like no socks, trousers rolled up. I want him to be like a modern day hipster with a D&D like fantasy kind of like vibe. There we go. When I started sculpting this waiter today, who knew we was going to be doing a skinny hipster with a man bun? Because I certainly didn't. Still building with Rosie Bunker. A whole new world. You know, I've got images of you and Rosie singing the Aladdin song to each other now. Should we give this guy a notepad, or what do you reckon? Should we give him a tray with some stuff on it? I think I might do the next one as like a little fat caricature type character. Like small and quite round. Oops. It's not like me. I always delete that normally first. These are like proper skinny jeans. Kevin over on Facebook, good afternoon, hope you're doing well. Let's give these the stitching up the side, I think. If you're ever designing a character and you think they're starting to look a little bit too modern, put some stitching on the clothes. I always find it just kind of takes it back to that fantasy domain. So when you're doing fantasy, you don't need to just stick to like medieval gear and things like that. You can do things a little bit more modern. You can get away with it. But you've got to strike the balance. Yeah, but even then, I mean, we're talking the kind of the Sent into Avernus setting at the moment. No, next week, mate. Kids are off on Friday this week, so Friday is a training day for them, I think. And then next week they're off. So lucky, I still have to deal with the with them being off next week. But this week it'd kill me, man. This secret squirrel job is like absolutely like annihilating my time at the moment. Yeah, but yours will be back next week when mine are off, so... Feels like they've only just been off as well. That's the crazy thing about it. But haven't they literally only just gone back? Oh, mate, it's not. I'm not even talking about the streaming here. I'm talking about the actual physical job of it. Is just doing my head in. It's like the client's given me a spec and said do this. I've done it, and then they're like, "Oh, can you change this, this, and this?" It's like, yeah, but that wasn't in the original spec. That wasn't in the drawings. Like, if you'd told me that at the beginning, it'd have been helpful. And the thing I'm doing, it's a printed model, so this is why I've got the printer running at the moment. It's taken over my printers. I've had to get the bigger printer to actually facilitate it because it's massive. Well, I've got to sculpt. Well, I've got to model this thing for them. Then I've got to print it, and then I've got to paint it. And after them initially telling me how long ago, about 3 months ago, that they wanted this, they've waited until a few weeks ago to pull the plug on it and say, oh sorry, not pull the plug on it, pull the trigger on it and say, yeah, go for it. And then they want it for the 3rd of November, which, like, it's just nerfing all of my time at the moment. It's like winding me up, stressing me out. Oh, don't worry. It says that the paint work on this is easy. It's like it's flat colours and stuff. It's just for presentation. It's not there's no like shading or any of that kind of business going on. What's that? Trust me, if I had to paint it like that, I'd be charging a lot more and telling them I couldn't do it in the time frame. The modelling's taken the longest time, though. I'd say part of it is them making changes and making changes, like material changes to the design, which is, you know, not on really. And then got 20 minutes to give him some shoes and get him posed. So that's doable. A simple pose at least. Shoes have got to be loafers, haven't they, really? Right, so one hipster waiter complete. Let's just get them pose gone. Gone? Done. So this is always how I know when I'm running on empty, because like the words that come out of my mouth just make no sense. Right, pose for this guy. What are we going to do? Soup. A bowl of soup, let's do. can't get it finished for 2. Right, there's his serving tray full of food. Oops. I don't know why. I don't know if you can see like little styrations across the surface of that model then, but for some reason when you use the move topological brush, sometimes it does that. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. This here, you see, it's kind of like ridges and weird lines we've got. No idea why it happens. Let's sort that out. It looks like his hand's broken. Okay, so there's your first waiter. Okay, so there's the tavern stuff as they are at the moment. This is this month's set. We're back on doing a bit more of this tomorrow. Got another waiter to do. We've got a group of chefs. So we've got 3 chefs and where was my list? Okay, so the chefs are going to be interesting because we've got one halfling head chef. I think I might do as a female. Then we've got a kind of Azar Velshim, so somebody kind of with an Arabic sounding name as another chef, and then we've got a blind pastry chef. So they're a bit of a motley crew. Save these. Right, I won't do a raid out because there's not many of you on the stream, and also because I've got to dash off and start getting stuff ready to go and get the kids. So, I was going to say thank you for joining me again today. Thanks for keeping me company, keeping me on my toes, and I'll be back on tomorrow, so I'll catch up with you later then, guys. Right, adios, and thanks again. Take care, guys.